Go ahead and crank the engine. Okay. Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm gonna try starting this thing. Today's been a long time coming. I've got the wiring in this car finally to a point where I believe that if I plug in a PCM, add fuel, and a battery, I think this car will start. It's going to be pretty exciting. We've got no headers, we've got no accessories, we've got no torque converter attached, so it's really just engine running off of the battery. It's going to be pretty loud, it's going to be pretty cool. That is, if it starts. Let's check out the progress so far. I'm not messing around today, I've got the good camera. Let's look inside here. We've got the wiring figured out-ish. There'll be a future video on how I actually got this wired. It looks like an absolute disaster right now, but trust me, this might actually work. And if we go on the inside of the car, we have a similar situation. This is also kind of a disaster right now, but we don't need it to be nice for it to start. We've got our diagnostic port. We're going to be able to see what's going on through the computer, hopefully. We have an actual fuel setup back here. We have a brand new fuel pump. This is a Walbro fuel pump, recommended by a lot of LS swap enthusiasts. We've got a pre-filter where the original fuel pump used to go. And then we've got our Corvette regulator right here, slash filter, so we can run the return line back here instead of all the way to the front of the car. So the majority of our leak points are back here instead of in the engine bay. Let's start with adding oil. That's easy. Now I know what you're thinking. Motorcraft oil in a Chevy? I thought that was only for Fords. Truth is, I'm actually secretly a Ford guy. And like I've said before, I did this project out of convenience. I had to see what the LS swap world is all about. We'll do a little bit of cranking, I guess, and then we can check the oil again. I guess one way to tell is to loosen the filter and see if there's oil on it. So I just went under and loosened the oil filter to see if oil would come out, and it's definitely oil. That means there's oil pressure. That means I know how to install an oil pump. Next, I want to see if I can establish communication with the PCM. I've got a Bluetooth OBD2 thingy right here, and we've got one light, which means we have battery positive, so I did something right there. Got some gauges right here. We will turn the car on and see if we get communication with the PCM. Key is on. We have established communication with the PCM.
Caution, icy conditions.
I don't know why it says that. We have a value for coolant. It says it's 91 degrees. If I modulate the throttle, you probably can't see it here. I hear it working. You hear that? That's not the pedal, that's the throttle. So there's 3 things we need for combustion, but 4 things we actually need for this to be okay. That 4th thing is oil pressure. So we've confirmed we have oil pressure. Now for the combustion, we need fuel, air, spark. We've got the air, as we can see. Throttle is moving. But now we need to confirm if we have fuel, and we need to confirm if we have spark. So fuel, we're going to go inside the car, we're going to check to make sure the PCM is actually giving the fuel pump trigger signal to the relay. And if that's happening, then the fuel pump will turn on. So when I turn the key, this should say 12 volts. And that means the PCM is sending 12 volts to the relay to turn on the fuel pump. Okay, we've got it. Now I think it's a good time to add fuel and bleed the fuel system. We're going to try priming this pump a little bit here. Attach a little jumper, and then that should get us to run the fuel pump. Yep, there it is. Yep, there's the fuel, you can hear it. I'm going to go to the front and check to see if there is fuel. And there it is. Fuel dripping from there. So now that I've confirmed that I have fuel going to the fuel rail, I've hooked it back up to the rail, and now we need to confirm whether there's any leaks back here or not. So that's why I've got safety glasses on. Let's see what happens here. You saw that line move. Let's see, no leaks yet. Let's check the front of the car. Yeah, no leaks up there. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear fuel from the return getting sent back into the fuel tank. so that's really good. Let's go to the front and see if we have anything to relieve at the fuel rail. So we're just looking right here. We're gonna take a little screwdriver and bleed that Schrader valve there. See what we get. Woo! Yep, there's stuff there, all right. Shout out to Noosa for making great yogurt in very versatile containers. Let's do that again. There's a lot of air. Alright, not much air in that one. I think we're good. Last but not least, we're going to see if when we plug this relay back in, we get fuel pump working from the fuse box here. So, pardon my reach. Let's see. Listen closely. There it is. Did you hear that? The computer even stops it. So, that's awesome. This thing is ready to go. Almost. We need to check spark. So I've got a helper in the vehicle. I'm going to have them start the engine. I'm going to look at this spark plug. This is an old plug. I'm going to see if there's spark when I put it against the head here. So go ahead and crank the engine. Okay. I saw spark. There's some residual fuel in there. This thing is going to run. This thing is absolutely going to run. Oh my gosh. So everything you just saw was being done with the original PCM. I have a different PCM right here. This is out of Astro apparently. And this has something inside of it. It's got the correct service number for the way I want to control the air conditioning. So this PCM was also tuned by Brendan at lt1swap.com. I gave him my vehicle information, my camshaft, you know, all that stuff. And he wrote a tune onto this thing that defeats the security system. And this should be pretty good for the setup we have in this car with the LS6 camshaft and all the other stuff. So if we were to keep going with this PCM, it would have maybe started briefly, but then it would have just died because there's a security thing that this PCM's looking for that's not here anymore. It's looking pretty good in here. I think we're ready to start it. So we've got the world's ugliest intake tube on here for now with the mass airflow sensor connected. Things are clear. Injectors are plugged back in, spark plugs are plugged in, and it's time to start this. So here we go. I'm not ready. I'm really not ready. It's gonna be so loud.
I think he's ready.
Fire in the hole. The fuel pump relay is not plugged in.
Oh.
That'll help.
Okay, now the fuel pump relay is plugged in. There it is.
That was.
Yeah. Our neighbors are ready for us.
That was awesome.
It blew shit everywhere.
Oh, I bet. Can I do it again? I just want to do it over and over. Oh my god. It started right up.
On it.
Yeah.
It started right up. There was no hesitation. It just freaking went. Oh my god. That was so cool. Okay, now what?
I know, right? Like.
Crack a beer.
I want to do it again and walk outside and look at it running and then turn it off again. Is that okay?
Sure. I'm gonna.
Yeah, probably don't throttle it though.
Okay, I'm just gonna... I want to do it again. I want to walk outside of the car and see it happening.
It's gonna sound so nice whenever it has exhaust on it.
It sounds nice right now.
Yeah, but a little painful though.
Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see this thing actually drive and see what it takes to actually get this buttoned up and functional. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.